Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of the Bléu Trudge. And today we're going to be talking about a very controversial topic, right? And it's Tirupati.
Hmm.
So in this video, we're going to be talking about how, not really how, but I went to Tirupati last week, right? And my experience there, I went there after like almost 6 years, right? And I thought it was a very cool topic to talk about. So let's jump right in.
Yeah. So you mentioned cleanliness. Well, you wanted to talk about it, right?
Yeah. Um, So the first thing that I did, right, when I went there in the evening of that day, we had to go bald. Um, it's like going bald in Tirupati is a way for people to show devotion towards the god, right? Um, and that's pretty cool. Like there were like full centers built just for this, and like you would get a ticket, you pay like you just pay for the blade, and then they do all the work, like they make you go bald. Um, it's a really cool thing. It's a good way to reset your hair, almost.
Fun fact, uh, he's actually wearing a beanie to cover his bald head.
Yeah. So getting back to the topic, right? Um, that center, it was like really humid, and some might say it was unhygienic because there was hair everywhere. But then they were cleaning it like every 10 to 15 minutes. There was just this one person coming in and cleaning it. It's like for some people it might be unhygienic, but for some it was really hygienic, right?
I mean, how different is that to a barber's
It's
place?
it's very different. They make you sit on the floor, and the floor's wet. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
uh,
So
interesting. Okay.
yeah. Um, and I think it's pretty cool, right? The next day you go to the actual temple and you see a bunch of bald people walking around. I thought that was pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Coming to the next day, right? Um,
Yeah.
it's Tirupati is located in Andhra Pradesh, one of the hottest states in India, right? Um, So, and you're walking mostly outside in the sun. So to combat this, the temple, what they've done is painted white lines on the road.
That's 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 smart actually.
Yeah, so when the sun falls on the white paint, it reflects off and then it doesn't feel that hot anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Adding to this, right? Temples in There are temples in multiple places, not just in India, right? In Singapore as well. And in I've noticed that Singapore temples are quite a bit different to like Indian temples, cause the way they the, wait, did you want to speak more about the crowd and traffic? Or-
No, you can go on.
Okay, so in Singapore, like temples have a dress code, right? You can't just go and wear whatever you want. It's like
Yeah,
you need
uh,
to dress appropriately and moderately.
yes, and that I think that's necessary because like you're going to see God. Um, you should wear something that really respects God and not just anything that you want.
I agree. I mean, because it's your own religion, you can set the rules, right? You can't disrespect a religion like that.
Yeah,
And so, what happens in Indian temples is that often, if
people
you don't,
get alienated if they wear clothes that is
yeah,
not really appropriate, but like I think sometimes it's necessary, but sometimes it goes above and
yeah,
beyond, and that's not really nice.
yeah. Because once I was wearing shorts, it was a hot day, and I went to a temple, and they did not let me in, right? But in Singapore, the concept they had basically like they had dhotis, right, which is a traditional
A
Indian.
traditional wear for Singapore, India, and like South Asian states. I
Yeah,
mean countries.
yeah. So basically, what happened was they would allow you to cover up since if you didn't dress up, because like they have like a more international crowd compared to like in India, where often it's just the
Indian
people
crowd,
know, yeah, and they know the
people who know the dress code.
yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't say like everyone knows the dress code. Yeah, even me myself, I don't know the dress code.
Yeah, people who are light about religion, like you can't expect everyone to be hardcore and know everything there is to know about the religion, right? There are some people who don't really know a lot, but they just want to see God, right? Um, and it's not really good to judge people. Like, God is God. He won't alienate you just because you're wearing something
Exactly.
not important, right? Um, but at one point there should be a cutoff, not everything.
Yeah, I understand. That's, I mean, me personally, I go to temples more for the architecture and the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Especially in the hotter states, right?
Yeah.
Wearing, let's say, like really heavy saris and like kurtas, it might not be the best. But like it might not be the best, but like um sometimes, like there are exceptions. You should be allowed to go in with like shorts, right?
Yeah, I
It's not
mean, in
that much
today's
of
day and age, like most
yeah,
people don't wear saris like on a daily basis.
yeah. And like let's say under 18, you should be able to wear shorts. Like you can see this even in everyday life, right? Especially in schools. Let's say you're not allowed to wear shorts, and like even if you wear shorts outside, people sort of see you as a almost a threat for some reason.
I mean, I disagree. I think it shouldn't be about age. It should just be attire is. I don't think attire should be important when you're going to see God. But yeah, I mean, I understand why you would want to be have moderate dressing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But like it shouldn't be uh too aggressive, or like it shouldn't be such a big and a big rule, right? It should be something that should be implemented, but when you have no other way out, it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
mm,
Yeah. And coming back to the last point, right? It was really hot outside and they painted white lines. I think that was a very cool and scientific way to solve problems, right? Like when you go to a temple, you don't expect such things. And I thought that was really interesting.
mhm. That's. Do you want to add anything to that?
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And going to the next problem, right?
Yeah.
Um, the temple really separated social classes. And I don't know why that's a thing, but like th- um so as far as I know, there are three tickets to enter into Tirupati, right? Like the main temple, the Lord Venkateshwara temple, right? There's
Yeah.
three tickets: the free ticket, the 300 ticket, and then the 10,000 ticket. For the US crowd, that's free. Um, I think like $3 and then $100 ticket. I'm pretty
No,
sure
it's
there's
not $3. It's yeah. I think
it's
it's four.
4 5
Yeah,
almost. Yeah. Um, and then you have the
a
one
hundred
hundred
dollars.
dollar ticket,
Yeah.
right? So separating this way, like $100 might not seem a lot, but then in Indian rupees, it's a lot. You could like
Yeah.
run a family for a month, right? Um, so what I was saying is that alienating these crowds, like social classes, in front of God, I mean, to one extent, to control the crowd, right? It's understandable. Like at theme parks, you have the regular ticket and the VIP ticket, but at a temple, that shouldn't be the thing.
Yeah, I would rather it be like appointments or some
Yes, like a
best
fixed
concept
number
thing.
of tickets.
Yeah. Well, I understand like the crowds can be crazy, but
Yeah,
why
like
would you?
60,000 people visit Tirupati in one day. It's one of the largest pilgrimages in the world.
Mhm.
Um, and another thing is that so for the free line, it takes almost 6 hours to go through, like the entrance of the line and to seeing the actual idol. It takes almost 6 hours. Then you have the 300 ticket, which is a lot shorter actually. It took us around 2 hours. And this was around lunchtime. So they gave us lunch um on the way, right? But then what I found was a problem was the 10,000 ticket, right? When you and these aren't tickets, you're donating to the temple. So for the betterment of the temple, no one's actually taking in this money. It's going for the betterment of the temple. So when you pay 10,000 rupees, right? They stop the entire line of like probably 10,000 or more people, right? It's like a very spirally line. They stop
You
the
see this
entire.
happen?
Yes,
Like,
yes. When I was there, there were two people in different times who were going. So they stop the entire line, make them go first, and then after they're done, we can go. And I thought that was really annoying, right? Especially at a temple.
I think it would be better if they just had a different way to enter the temple, right, for 10,000.
Yeah, it's
Um,
almost like so those type of tickets are usually reserved for like um VIPs, like politicians, businessmen, those type of people, right? Um,
and also,
but
honestly, if I'm paying 10,000, I would expect you to have a conversation with God. Like, God should sit right in front of me and talk to me about how I can improve my life, bro.
yeah, I not really, but like I kind of agree with you. It's a lot to pay just for, but you're also like saving almost 6 hours of your day. Like if you're a politician, you're busy, right? And you don't want to stand 6 hours in a line, especially when it's so hot outside, right? And I think for those type of people, it's completely worth it. Um,
I mean, like, even for us, right, we're privileged, so I don't think it's that expensive.
yeah. And one thing that I found also annoying was there were like these three lines, right? Um, we had the 300 rupee ticket. So then we got through a lot faster. But at one point, the free ticket and the 300 rupee ticket, they combine into one line almost. And like, I could literally feel the pushing get more intense compared to the 300 line. So it's almost like the less money you pay, the less civic sense you have, right? I'm not saying that everyone doesn't have civic sense, but like some of them, like they just want to be first and they think about themselves instead of others.
I mean, I think this is because if you pay less, you're more likely to be, like, you're more likely to earn less money, and you're more likely to also have less access to education, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, and another thing was that even the staff, right, the temple staff. I mean, they're not really staff; they're just volunteers called they do Srivari Seva. That's what they call it over there. Um, the staff also pushes a lot because they've kind of adapted to what the people do, and the only way to combat that is the staff. It's the staff also pushing.
I think you should get more into the, like, tell me more about, like, volunteers and this stuff.
Yeah. So, Srivari Seva, this is like one of the biggest temples um in the world, right? And like people for special like, occasions or even like once every year, they go there and do volunteering as a way to show devotion to God. And there's like this big counter just for people who want to register into this. And I think that's actually really good. It saves the temple a lot of money to run because you don't really have to pay them. And people also get that happiness of serving God. And it's like a win-win situation, and that's awesome.
I think Shashik, I think you should volunteer so that you can add this
No, I
resume.
think I think it's a there's an age limit to it.
Oh,
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there is.
I mean, would you could you put this on your resume? Maybe get some points for admissions.
Yeah, it counts as volunteering hours. Um,
That
yeah, and another thing is that right before you enter the shrine, right? There's something, I forgot what it's called, but you have to donate something that weighs as much as you. And I've only seen this in like movies and I thought it was so cool. They have like this huge scale, almost like an old-fashioned scale. You sit on one side and then you donate your exact weight amount of stuff. So it could be like ghee, sugar, rice. And I know someone has donated gold before, the weight of them, and that's really expensive.
Wait, is it mandatory to
No,
enter, or
no, it's not mandatory, but it's something that you want to do out of devotion again, right? It's something that you're donating to the temple, and I'm pretty sure this goes towards making the famous Tirupati laddu.
oh? That's nice. Um, I was wondering though, like, how is like the accessibility, right? Because 60,000 people from all over India, I'm sure there'll be people who are differently abled and they would need like, would there was there like provisions for accessibility?
Um, for me, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if you have um a disability, you have to pay like the extra 10,000 or something in the middle that would give you the ability to cut through lines. But I know that even in the 300 rupee line, there was stairs. So like if you're, let's say, in a wheelchair, you couldn't go through. And I'm pretty sure like if you have a fractured leg or an arm, it's not really safe, right? Because there's so much pushing, there's so much crowd. It's so easy to lose your family, right? I mean, not lose them, but like it's easy to get lost, right? I had to hold on to my aunt's hand just so I couldn't lose myself.
I mean, I would understand because the temple probably was built in prehistory and they probably didn't have wheelchairs, so they wouldn't have provisions for that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I get, but like I think they should, look into that as since it's like such a important thing for uh Indian culture.
yeah, inclusiveness, yeah, being included.
Me,
And this ties back to the previous point, right? Different
I don't think
social
inclusiveness is a word. I think it's inclusivity.
inclusivity. Okay, okay. But getting back to the point, right? Um, this ties back to the statement saying the different social classes. I think in front of God, everyone should be included as one, you know, thing as human instead of separating them.
You're right.
But it's the if you look into it, it's the only way to actually um combat this because there's so many people. The only other thing that I could think of is like limiting the number of tickets sold.
Yeah. Okay. So can you get into how it was like looking at the idol and stuff?
Yeah, so because there was so many people, right? There were like three lines and like you could only go through. There was like the first one called the Silver Shrine. And then there was like a small room, almost like the size of a bedroom, uh made completely out of silver. And I thought that was like really cool, right? And then there was like a small place for outdoor, like there was like an outdoor thing. And then you would enter something called the Gold Shrine, right? The entire room is the size of like a really big bedroom, right? Um, and it was completely made out of gold. And I thought that was really cool, right? Even the shrine on top, it was completely made out of gold. There were like huge chandeliers. And then at the end of this room, there was this huge hallway. And at the end of that hallway, there was the idol. And inside this hallway, right, there's no electricity, no lights. It's completely lit by fire, like how they used to do it back in the day, right? But you only get to see the idol for like 2 seconds, right? And then my grandparents, they saw for like five or like 3 or 5, and then they were saying it was like very long. Usually you only get to see it for like a fraction of a second. And I thought you're waiting 6 hours in a line and you see it for like only 3 seconds, right? This was before I actually saw the idol, and I thought it was a complete waste of time, right? But when I actually saw the idol, I felt so happy and like somehow it was worth it. But I don't know why. Like it was either the hype leading up to it, the crowd, the entire gold chamber. Um, but I thought that was pretty cool.
You know what's interesting though?
Yeah.
It's not the idol is still in India and it's not in the British Museum.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? The idol hasn't missed a single day of puja, um, across the British time, across especially like COVID, right?
Yeah.
Um, where everything had to stop.
And for
Except
an
those,
international audience, could you explain what a puja is?
yeah, a puja is where you give offering to God, give an offering to God and like um spin fire around. I don't know how to say it,
We're
right?
not really sure. So it's like a ritual that we
Yeah,
do to
it's
get,
a ritual to show devotion to God again.
yeah.
there was this one person coming in and doing this puja every single day of the year, even during COVID, right? And I thought that was remarkable. Like that amount of dedication, that's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, me personally, I'm not religious, but I think it's quite interesting to look at how how devoted people get and how blinded in faith, and it's
I,
it's
I
not
wouldn't,
necessarily a bad thing, no.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say they were blinded, but I would say that um they're really, what do you call it? They're really almost dedicated.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't mean blinded in like a negative way, right?
Yeah,
I mean it more like in a positive way,
yes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely. And then there's also the thing that happened after it, right? Right after we finished looking at the idol, um, they had to stop the entire line again, and there was this huge crowd just stocked up because there was
Is it
another
massive?
10,000. It was really massive, yeah. There was just this that's because another 10,000 ticket had to like go through. Yeah,
You know what else is massive?
yeah, it was massive.
You know what else is massive?
Low taper fade. Okay, well, after we got to see the idol, right, there was something, it's called a hundi, right?
Yeah.
Where you give your offering to God in cash, right? In coins, cash. And there was for some reason more pushing over there than in front of the actual idol.
I think it's I think it's more of like the reciprocity aspect of it. I think people expect like
Something in return, but like not really,
exactly.
you're not getting anything in return.
But they would
Um,
expect like if you're giving something to God, God would want to give something back to you. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't think
But
that's how
like
it works. But
you gotta have some patience, bro. Um, me personally, I was like the taller side of people over there. So I wasn't really getting lost, but I could imagine short people getting engulfed in the crowd, and that would be pretty annoying, right? And like
again,
me,
we don't have anything against short people. It's
yeah,
just we
but
don't have that experience.
yeah, we're just putting ourselves in their shoes, right? And like me personally, I was just like I let my family go first just so that I can like catch up with them later. Because if we try to like stay together in one spot, there's like so many people pushing us, and I thought it was annoying at one point, like really annoying, right? Um, and like yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
yeah,
I get the thing is, right? And this is a common like criticism of India in general, right? People here lack civic sense. They don't. They don't.
not everyone, just
Not
a few
everyone.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't understand. Like, I mean, it's not even that they don't. They know. Like, it's not like they know they're trying to do something bad. They
like
probably just don't understand how it could like impact other people.
they only think about themselves and not
It's
people
more.
around
It's
them.
like tunnel vision as opposed to like
Yeah,
they're going out of their way to like trouble other people.
yeah. There's like a thin line, and they're on this side, not that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, and especially in like lower, like when you have like lower, less educated people, they
Yeah,
can,
the lower middle class.
yeah,
And like coming to that, right? Like a place in Tirupati, right? Not a place in Tirupati, a place like Tirupati.
yeah,
You could go there completely for free and like come back, right?
yeah,
Especially like taking into fact that from the bottom of the hill to the top and then coming back, you could walk all the way.
yeah,
I'm not saying like you can't, it's not possible. They have a roof, a completely paved path, and it's possible. So you don't need a vehicle to go to the temple. You can completely walk there. You can stay there for free because there's like these places where it's just a big slab and then a roof on top of it. It's huge, like a big auditorium. That's how big it is. So you could sleep there. You can get your own towel and sleep there, right? So you don't really need to pay for stay. They give you free food. There's like places for free food, so you can eat for free. You can come back for free. So you when you can do something for free, you there's also like people from the lower middle class coming in. right?
It just
Where
makes it more accessible to all people of this faith.
yeah,
And
which
that's what's so
also
beautiful about religion. You're
yes,
not trying
it
to
is.
exclude the.
Yeah, and then when you allow lower middle class people, you're also allowing people with less civic sense. I'm not saying all lower middle class people are they don't have civic sense, but like some of them.
Like most likely they don't because
Yeah,
of
most
the.
likely you're not gonna have upper middle class people not having civic sense just because education, right?
Yeah.
And like coming back, there's also like seven-star hotels, better hotels than we have, let's say in the cities, right? On top of the hill. And I thought that was really cool. It's like you have a really small
Okay,
like
can you describe what like really good hotels might, compare them to like hotels, let's say in Bangalore, let's say, right? The
like you
city.
have good hotels in Bangalore, right? But I haven't personally seen them. But like you have over there, you have like really big hotels with like glass, like ceiling to floor,
Okay, like
glass
okay, so what
windows.
I was asking was more so like compare it to what you would expect versus what you would actually what you like you were blown away by.
So I was really just expecting regular homes, right? But like you have a really like okay-ish home with like just a room and a bathroom for like 100 rupees per night. But you also have these huge mansions up there. Almost like I would go as far as to say a villa, right? Like more than a villa actually. And those are like 10,000 per night, and those are reserved for like the VIPs who come there.
Oh,
And they're like right next to each other. Like you have such a wide spectrum of people coming there, and that was really fascinating.
it is like quite often we don't see that, in more rural areas of
Yeah,
India.
yeah. I wouldn't call Tirupati a rural area.
Oh,
It's more like it's more developed, I would say.
really?
Yes,
I was
it is
expecting it to be
really.
more like, rural and
They have really well planned out roads. I would assume because it's more recent, the road planning was more recent. Um, and then you don't have skyscrapers or like tall buildings. They're max like 3 stories, right? And like that's pretty cool. And there was like so much open space out there, right? Especially like the main temple, it was all like a spiral. Like the line was so large, they had to build it in a spiral. So you start on one corner, then you rotate through a very long line, right? Like lines almost to find the actual shrine. And like in the middle, there were something like cages. Like I thought that was almost rude, right? There were like these huge cages the size of big auditoriums, and like they would put you and a lot of people in there so that for like especially lunchtime and like breaks, um just
yeah.
as a
And
way to prevent people cutting the line.
okay, adding to your point, I looked this up right now. So Tirupati is actually quite an old city, right?
Yeah,
It was made by ancient people, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, it was made in the 6th century, right?
yeah, that's pretty old.
And back then, uh, India was quite developed actually. They had really good city planning. You learn about this in Indian schools. There was this city which was towards the north. There was a civilization. It was like one of the first civilizations,
Yeah,
and they basically similar to New York. They had a grid city. They literally had a grid city with a drainage
and
system.
a working sewage. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's called the Harappan civilization.
yeah,
Similar to that, I think Tirupati as well is also
a very
old
developed
city.
and old at the same time. Like you guys have been seeing, I'm wearing these Apple headphones, bro. Like the podcast level microphone. Like the microphone's good, but the earphones, they're actually so painful. Like they're not made for humans. They're designed in Area 51. I'm not kidding.